Having a regular pattern to our day can really help to bring a sense of peace to our home and to our relationships and to each of us individually. With small children, having a regular pattern to their day and knowing that their needs are going to be met can help them to feel safe and secure and more settled. And even with teens and adults, having a regular pattern where we get our work done but also make time for self-care and rest and play means that we're setting ourselves up for good long-term mental health. Patterns are different from a schedule in that a pattern is what we do each day. We have an order, we work through our things as we do them in the day, but it's not necessarily tied to a time or making sure we fit everything into the day. Whereas a schedule is more, I wake up at this time and then after that by this time I have to have finished all these other things and then I start the next thing and I should be finished that by that certain time. Tying things to time frames during the day can potentially put pressure on us. If we sleep in because we're sick or if we get interrupted by something good like catching up on the phone with a friend, then that can put our time frames off and we can feel pressure or guilt because we haven't achieved what we said we should do by that time. A pattern in your day is different. If you sleep in, that's okay. You just get up and you do the thing that you do when you get up. When you finish that, then you move on to the next thing. And if you get interrupted by something, whether good or bad, you do what you need to do and then you come back to your pattern and you move along with that. And with patterns to your day, there's a sense of security. I know what I'm doing with my day. I know that when I get up I do this and then I do that. Children have predictability. The predictability for small children is just beautiful. They know that I'll be fed at this time. I'll have time to read with my parent. I'll have time to do something creative. I'll have time to run around and do those things, free play, those sorts of things will just happen in my day. I don't need to worry that I'm not going to get to that. Having that little bit of structure to the day can bring peace because we all know that we're getting what we need, and even if we get off track for a few days, we can come back to our pattern and re-establish that again and get all the right balance to our day. An example of this is brushing your teeth. You probably brush your teeth before bed each night, and maybe normally you go to bed at a certain time, but if you go out or get distracted by doing something else that is good and you go to bed an hour or two later, you don't feel guilty because you're brushing your teeth later. You just think, well, this is what I do before I go to bed. That's the sort of idea of what a pattern is. It's not tied to time, it's not tied to guilt or pressure. It's just, this is what we do at that time of day. And it helps us to achieve those regular things that we want to get to because it's just our habit. So when we institute routines, they can feel difficult at first, but if we do them regularly as a regular pattern to our day, it can really serve us because it can help us to achieve those simple things regularly without having to think or have willpower. It just is what we do. Some examples of things you might like to include in your child's pattern for their day is self-care, like brushing their teeth, having their hair brushed, having a bath. If they know that at a certain time of day they will be having a bath, then the struggle to have the bath will be less because they are expecting it and they know that it just happens and then we move on. It's good to include some sort of household contribution, something that the child does to help the family to get things done. Maybe they make their bed or take their dishes to the sink after a meal. Some sort of age-appropriate contribution to the household is going to help your child to feel useful and included and needed. Of course, we need to have academic learning in the day for our child. That might look like reading a book together for a preschooler, or it might look like homework or schoolwork for an older child. Creative learning is also wonderful for children. For young children, that might be Play-Doh or drawing or painting, something creative. For an older child, it might be knitting or crocheting or painting or whatever your child is into. Personal development is another thing you might like to consider putting into your child's routine. So learning about something that is going to help them grow in their confidence or in their progress them to their goals. Some things that could come into this music lessons or dance classes. And then free play and relaxing. Such an important thing that we can sometimes forget in the business of life. Our children need time to just unwind and do those things that happen spontaneously, and it can bring them a lot of joy. And these are all good things that we can include in our own routines and patterns in our days as well. All the best. Enjoy the patterns in your day. Bye.